Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. I have a cat on my chest. More like I have a baby in my chest. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I have a baby in my chest. Yeah. I haven't gotten up yet. I just woke up like maybe 10 minutes ago. So I'm not entirely too sure how I feel or whatever, but I slept very well last night. I took some ibuprofen, doused myself with a whole bunch of my essential oils. So we'll see how it goes. At least it's a beautiful, bright blue, sunny day. No clouds. I know we definitely got some rain last night. I did have Rick take me down to Walmart so I can get a brush for my back so I can scrub all that down. I was looking for one specific because it's got a nice soft bristle on it. I did at least brush my back a little bit. The thing with it is it kind of mimics something that a massage therapist did when I had my car accident. She would take her fingers and just kind of go like this on my injuries, and basically I finally asked her, I'm like, why do you do that? And she's like, because what it does is it helps to stimulate the blood vessels so they're not sitting all constricted like that. It helps to calm them down and stimulate them. I'm like, oh, okay. So that, and then there's also this one device that the chiropractor uses. It's basically kind of like vibrates or what? Not a vibrator. People, get your minds out of the gutter. It basically vibrates and it's a natural pain reliever. And he just takes it and puts it on the back. Puts it on problem areas and everything, just to help calm things down with all that constricting, contracting, and so forth. You can buy ones yourself. Actually, a friend of mine posted one that he uses on his page. I don't remember what it's called, but anyway. And I don't want to give out his info or whatever, protecting people's privacy and so forth. But anyway, yeah. Well, actually, it was up on his story, so you wouldn't be able to see it anymore anyway. So, anyway, I don't know where she went. But anyway, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, folks. So, yeah, I'm sure if you just did a Google search or whatever, you'd probably be able to find it. I think I came across at least one similar or whatever up on Prime yesterday when I was looking for the comfier massager. So, yeah, probably maybe just do, kind of looks like a gun or whatever, like a, maybe like a submachine gun or something like that. But it has a ball at the end, like a small ball or whatever. I just can't remember the name of it. I know I came across it yesterday when I was searching on Prime, so you could probably find it through there. I think it was like $40, $50, something like that. So if you want to, you can try that out for size. So, yeah, we'll see what happens as I start to move around a little bit more and everything. Definitely I'm going to get a shower and see how it goes. I at least want to go in and try and work. I'll probably take my cane with me just to be on the safe side. I know when we went down to Walmart, I didn't bring my cane with me. But I did grab a cart. And he even commented, he's like, oh, you're on. Yeah, he was just picking on me. You know, oh, you're hunched over and everything. I'm just like, yeah. Oh, man, it really hurt, especially that one spot. You know what? Let me just, yeah, it's raw back there. Very raw. And I kept making that comment. He's like, raw? What do you mean by raw? I'm like, well, that's the only way I could think to describe it. Is it just feels raw, you know, like bone's been rubbing up against bone or something the whole time. Oh, but yeah, that muscle it's basically this one right here. It's the last of it. And it's very raw. I can feel it. So, probably get a shower probably will help it quite a bit. Hopefully, maybe I'll be able to crack the area. That'll help. So, we'll see. But anywho, yeah, I had a really weird. I know yesterday morning I woke up with a really, really weird dream. It was weird as some of it was coming true throughout the day. So I thought, I did a little bit of dream interpretation. Some of it I already got, and I was just like, oh, okay, I get where it's coming from. I get, what it means and so forth. And then what was weird is I saw part of it in a commercial. So I'm like, okay, is this a premonition dream now? It was a weird dream. I dreamt that I went, my mom and I I guess we were supposed to be in Vegas. I don't know. But we were clearing out all of her stuff from this really old building. And I mean, there was a ton of stuff. And and I was just like, you better get cracking with this, with packing and so forth. I already got the U-Haul here and everything. And next thing I know it, she was done. She's like, because I was getting on to her about it again. And she was just like, oh, no, I'm done. Okay, and there was all these bags. Like, I don't know if y'all remember them or not, like old sleeping bags. Like back in the day when you roll up a sleeping bag and then you would wrap it with the end part that was made of rayon or whatever, and it would pull a thing or whatever. It would be like a bag or whatever. I don't know. I know what I'm thinking. But anyway, it was those kinds of bags, like rayon bags with the pull ties all over the place. Okay. So I start loading it up or whatever, and then the dream shifted, and we wound up leaving it behind, very similar to what happened with me. And she just kept saying, I just want, I'm like, where do you want to go? I kept asking her, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know, I just want to go fishing. She just kept saying that. I want to go fishing. My mom never fished. She didn't care for fishing. I want to fish. I want to go fishing. Okay, so I was taking it as, my desire for retirement or whatever, away from chaos or what have you. And then at one point, and finally she said, I'm like, Mom, tell me, where do you want to go? I want to go to North Carolina. That's the only place where I've ever been happy. Okay, and I want to go fishing. Of course, she wanted to go fishing. I'm like, okay, she wants to go fishing in North Carolina. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, then the dream shifted. And we wound up on this airfield. and there was the sound. You could hear the sound of the propellers, but there were all these cars, which I don't get. There were all these cars, and what was weird, I remember there was this Jeep. It was a blue-colored Jeep. It was like a light blue color. It wasn't a Jeep. It was it was an old SUV basically of some sort, and but kind of small. But anyway, all of a sudden it goes down the runway and takes off like an airplane without wings, no propeller. It's just a vehicle. Don't ask. And it goes up, and I was just like, and then all of a sudden it banks, like it's gonna crash or something. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's gonna crash. And then I look again, and then it was gone. And seems how there wasn't any any smoke or anything coming up from the ground. It was like, okay, it must have taken off. And that's when I woke up. I was like, this, okay. So I was taking, just doing some dream interpretation of car, flying. Flying represents freedom. Cars, depending on the interpretation, had something to do with basically, I was interpreting it as my desire for what I've been talking about, freedom. On the one hand, freedom, being free of chaos and wanting to retire, all that sort of stuff. Well, then I was watching something. I think I may have been getting caught up with Ghosts. I didn't know that they had come out with new episodes, so I've been catching up on those up there on Paramount Plus. I love that show. I really do love that show. I'm sad that the UK, they decided to cancel, but at least we have the American. And they've really taken off on their own with things instead of, mirroring the UK. And it's like even when the UK was still producing, which of course was the original show, but instead of mirroring, the American version really took off on its own, which I was very happy about. But anyway, I think I was watching that, and all of a sudden this commercial comes up for Jeep. Basically talking it up, with the production and, American made right here in Detroit, Michigan, and this and that, so on and so forth. Well, it was weird. Starting off with the commercial was a Jeep up in the air, but hanging from a parachute. But it looked a lot like the Jeep that was in my dream, or the SUV. And I was just looked at it, I'm like, okay, that was in my dream. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I've got some sort of premonition trying to come out, let me know that something's going on, or what, because that's usually how my premonitions work, is to let me know that something's up, But that was weird yesterday. All while I'm dealing with all this mess. I don't know. Very, very strange. Very strange. So, I don't know. Oh, I was going to mention about the earthquake there in San Diego. It happened just outside San Diego yesterday. So, of course, my thoughts are with all those folks. Fortunately, I don't think I really know anybody who lives there. I think I knew somebody who still had family there, so but as far as knowing anybody directly, I don't think I know anybody now, but still, I just hope everybody's okay. I just saw that it was like a 5.2, so I'm not entirely too sure what sort of damage or anything may be going on. So I just hope that everybody's okay. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there this time. I got done with recording my video and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. So I'll have to look that up. I was a little preoccupied yesterday, let's face it. So anyway, yeah, I'm just not entirely too sure. I'm not rushing anything. I'm sure I'll probably be given a talking to at some point. And it's like, you know what? Too bad. I just don't care. You know, when it comes to dealing with corporations and this and that, it's like, you know, I have an out. If push comes to shove, I have an out. And I don't think that we're going to be really dealing with any snow or ice from here on out, at least until fall. So it'll give me some time to get myself used to being behind the wheel again and so forth. So I'm not worried about it. But if need be, I'm just going to go back driving and then figure something else out. I haven't been happy there, which is quite evident with my videos that I've been doing with talking about things. Yeah, I was happy. I was very excited to be getting a job, so I'm not, you know, living off my friends and this and that and everything. And I was willing to give it a shot, you know. But I've realized that, I mean, okay, if it works out, great. But I'm just not somebody who likes living underneath somebody's thumb. I've never been that way. I've never been somebody worried about 501ks or whatever they're called, 401ks. Yeah, sorry, 401ks, not 501ks, whatever. See, I don't even know what the hell the names are. I've never been one for that. I've never been somebody, yeah, the benefits are nice. After what happened yesterday, it's like, damn, what sort of benefits do I have? No idea. I have no idea where the disconnect is, but oh well. I'm not worried about it. I take care of it myself like I always do. So yeah, I've been, yeah, anyway, like I was saying, you know, all that sort of stuff is nice and so forth. But like I said, I've never been, I don't care, especially since I've had my freedom. I just don't care to be up underneath somebody else's thumb. But, you know, there's pluses and minuses on both sides of the coin. So I'm not entirely too sure which way to go. See what happens. Yeah, we might be all nicey now and so forth, but then once things start, you know, and I do see it a little bit here and there or whatever with things, and it's like, don't bother. Sorry, kids. I'm 50 years old. You're not going to intimidate me. I don't much give a damn. It's just, I don't care. So, and, you know, I see my trainer. She's been getting stressed out with some things and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, been there, done that, life. I'm not into it. I just don't care. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to something like this, it's like, I really don't care. I don't know. I'm sure if it was a situation that I cared about, you know, then I might, but even, I don't know, I'm just to a point where I just don't care anymore. I'm thinking more about just right now. Because, well, let's face it, with everything I have been through, you know, especially last summer, and then, of course, before that, becoming diabetic and so forth, there's no guarantees in life. You have absolutely no guarantees. I'm worrying about saving for retirement. Number one, that retirement may never come. And number two, putting money away in 401ks and so forth. It may not even be enough. The rising cost of living. So, you see it happening all the time with boomers having to go back to work. So, I don't know. I'm at a crossroads with everything in my life, basically. That's what it boils down to. And I've also been somebody who's always been a risk taker. And me playing it safe it's a bit boring and unsettling. I feel like I should be going and jumping out of an airplane with a parachute. I've always been a risk taker. And for me to be going down the easy life, basically, it's not me. But I'm trying it. And I'm finding myself unsettled and bored. And as far as somebody who living underneath somebody else's thumb, there's only one person's thumb that I have ever lived under. Well, my parents, to a certain extent. And then, of course, these guys. Yeah, my babies. I will always be under their thumbs. It's what they want. Understandable. Because I'll always have babies. And I'll always be looking to take care of them. So I don't know. I'm not entirely too sure where I'm at with anything. The way I'm looking at it right now is get through this with this neck of mine, neck and back. Get through all this stuff, taking it all one step at a time, and going from there. But I don't know. See what happens. I'm sure, of course, it'll probably just be a warning or whatever. Oh, you're fired right away or whatever. But of course, if it keeps happening, yeah. I don't trust people, especially when it comes to when money is involved. I don't trust people. And I never will. Because I know how quickly people turn. And on the one hand, they say, don't worry about it, take care of you, this or that, or whatever. Next thing you know it, they're turning on you. It isn't like I'm not trying. But that's the problem, people, and it isn't like I'm saying, oh, well, what about me, or anything. It's just, yeah. It's just seen it happen too many times. Partly with myself, but also with other people and so forth. People put too much stock in money, and that's not what life is about. People chasing that too much all the time, and that's not what life is about. And people need to figure that out. It isn't all about what you can give me, what you can do for me, and so on and so forth. It's about loving and sharing, spending time with each other, taking opportunities to showing your love for each other, taking care of each other, being present, enjoying the moments. That's what it's about. Just enjoying. And that's where the books that I've wanted, the short stories I've wanted to write, that's what they're about. Being in the moment. So anyway, my stuff should arrive today. Looking forward to my lunch pail. Getting that. I'm hoping that's going to come before I go to work. We'll see. It's showing that it's processing at the facility, so got also a couple of what do you call them, cold packs too. The bigger ones. And I went with the same company that I had before with my other one that I had out there. I know I hated giving that one up, but it is what it is, and I couldn't reorder that one, so I got a different one. But yeah, I went ahead and grabbed a couple of those cold packs that I had out there that I know between the cooler itself and that it'll keep cold. It'll keep things cold. And then I have the small one. I should have probably grabbed another small one, so I have the 4, but that's okay. I can always grab another one the next time I go to Walmart. I'm going to go later on in the week again anyway. So, but yeah, there's that, and I've got my acupressure mat and pillow coming today, and then an ink cartridge to replace the one that I used. Oh my goodness, I used a lot of black ink here recently, so, and paper, so they've got paper and black ink. Yeah, right, I think her eye is bothering her. It was very windy, so it probably brought in a lot of allergens. Yeah, there she is. She's getting scratched. Yeah. She's getting scratched. Mm-hmm. Oh, mommy. This is what it's all about. Being in the present. And who knows, maybe that's what I've had to learn. So I can go back driving and enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's more getting myself... I have learned how much actually I did enjoy it. Being on my own, making the decisions and so forth. I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear and see what happens. I'm going to take my sketchbook with me to work too. And get back to writing. I know I was taking my sewing box with me, or was going to. I think I'm going to do that instead. Just sit and just start writing stuff. Start writing those short stories, and then see what happens. Who knows? I might get a book together, and whether it's self-publishing or what, I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a writer. I had no idea what to write. Anywho, I love you guys. I do need to get myself moving to work. I'll talk to y'all soon. Love you.